Awesome. Hello, everybody. So wonderful to see you all again. It's so cool to have people joining from all over the world. We have Americans, Europeans, Latin Americans, we have Australians. I'm sure that I am missing some, but it is amazing to see everybody popping in. I hope you all are having an amazing start to the weekend. We're going to kick things off by living as our future selves, and that is the main focus for today. So you will have gotten an email. I think it came out about 2 hours ago, and it has the journal prompts and the focus for today's day of the challenge. And that is on embodying your future self. We're going to kind of dive into who do we want to be? How do we want to show up in the world? And, change can come because we have something that happens in our life that requires us to change. Sometimes we get really pushed up against our edges and we have to make a change, be it a place that we live, be it a job, be it a relationship. It can be many different things, but change can also have this really fun side where we can choose who we want to be. We can choose who we want to be in the world, how we want to show up, how we want to move through life, the qualities that we want to embody. And so we wanted to spend today and really get clear on that. You can think like, how would your future self, your highest self, your best embodiment of self show up in the world? Would they walk with grace? Would they smile at people on the street? Would they be kind to people at the grocery store? It's individual for everyone, and you can really spend some time and lean into that and think about who that person is, because it is so much more fun to change as a choice than to change as a reaction to something. So after we set our intentions for yesterday and we really focused on what we're committing to over this challenge, now we kind of are going to lean into the who we're going to be. And Maria, I would love for you to kick us off and kind of talk a little bit about your higher self. Like, who are they? How do they show up in the world? What are you feeling when you're embodying that person?
Thank you, Sophia, and good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening. Actually, I wanted to share that I believe this morning, like my higher self showed up, and I am suspicious that it has to do with this challenge that we are all part of. Short story. I have two sons, and one of them, he loves soccer, and he was watching a soccer match very early morning because actually his team is the Liverpool, so this was happening in the UK. And they were playing with this other team, and the other team was kind of hurting. Actually, they hurt two players from the Liverpool. And my son yells, and a bad word in Spanish is really a really bad word. And he just woke me up with that big word. And when I got up, I was just rushing and I was gonna tell him, don't you do that, don't you say bad words. But instead of that, something happened inside of me that actually made me react in a different way. And when you're telling me what is the energy of the higher self, I think it has to do with this gentleness, with this compassion, with this curiosity, very far from being righteous or being far from doing the right thing. And so what it made me realize is, oh my God, what if this challenge is becoming part of my morning hygiene beyond soap and water, but actually managing and putting my hands on my own emotions? Because if I am pulling the energy up, if I am freeing myself from the emotions that I live by, then there's no emotions there around that. So I'm going to respond in a different way. So I wonder what's going to happen in the moment we stop reacting in the same way to the same people, to the same conditions, to the same triggers in our life. And I believe that's exactly when even our hormones change. So I believe it's super valuable that we intentionally tune into our higher self.
Thank you for sharing that.
Especially
That's amazing. I mean,
this thing.
what a tangible, real experience that you had with this morning. And I have moments of that myself too, where it's you see yourself showing up in situations in a different way than you used to, and that is really like these glimmers of our higher self. And we talk about reconditioning the body to a new mind, and this is that new mind, that new person that we're going to be, that we're going to embody. And the really beautiful thing about this human experience is that we can change at any time. So, in your journal today, please take a few moments and really think about who that person is to you, how they show up in the world, and who you want to be. And yeah, I think you'll be amazed that over time these little changes, these little glimmers of that higher self, like Maria experienced this morning, start becoming your default, and then you are literally living in a brand new life. So this morning we are going to be doing track 3 off of Inspire V2. It's called Riding Through. And I'm going to go ahead and pull that up. So you are welcome to turn your cameras off. Dr. Joe recommends that you listen to the tracks with headphones. So if you have headphones nearby, you can put those on and get ready. We'll give you about 45 seconds to get situated. And then we're going to go ahead and do track number 3.
Yeah, we have to be ready. This one, in this one, Dr. Joe doesn't even say good morning. He goes right in. So we have to be ready.
Wow, that track is powerful. So Maria, what was that experience like for you just now?
Um, I it actually helped me realize, coming back to the intention for today of connecting with our higher self. It kind of made me realize that it is actually allowing the higher self to show up in our lives. And that has to do, if I master my emotions, then there's room for the higher self to show up, you know?
Mm,
Um, yeah.
that's powerful. We'd love to open up the floor now to any questions or reflections on today's track. If you want to raise your hand or come off of mute, we have time for a few. Yes, Lorelai, you're on mute.
Hi.
Hey, Lorelai.
Hi. Hola. I wanted to ask
Hola.
about the intention. What is your process? Do you first connect, like Dr. Joe is saying, assigning meaning to what we're doing? Do you spend some time first reflecting on that intention and perhaps trying to get into those feelings and then you start the breath? Or do you want maybe the breath to inspire you as to the emotions that you might be reaching for?
Yeah, that is a great question, Lorelai. If I may ask you, what is your intention when you show up for something like this, for doing the breath, or just for doing your daily meditation? What is your intention?
I I want to overcome myself and just live from a place of thriving rather than coping. So being that, and it's, for me, it's something that I'm learning how, because I think when all your life you've been a certain way, like you had a trauma and then you've always just coped, you didn't, you're like a frog in boiling water. So it took 2 years of this work to even realize what it might feel like to be different and what was I even reaching
Mm.
for. So that's why I wonder if at times your intention is not so clear just because you don't have those tools yet. You're not sure what it feels like to be happy. So to say, if you can't remember it, then I think it's harder to have a clear intention. And at times if I don't know, I hope the meditations can inspire me to what that feeling might even be. So I wonder if this murkiness of perhaps not being very clear when you do start the meditation on what is it that you even want, but being very clear that you're showing up for the work and expecting that it will work for you, if that is enough or if there is a strategy around it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Rolai. And I believe many of us here can relate to your question. So Dr. Joe teaches a lot of important facts about our brain. And one of the most important parts of our brain, according to his to his teachings, is the frontal lobe. The frontal lobe takes 40% of our entire brain. And the frontal lobe has 3 functions. One of those is it is the part of the brain with the one we set up intentions. So when you ask an open-ended question, just like you did, Lorelai, you said, what would my life look like if I change? What would my life be like if it's different? You are in the moment you ask those open-ended questions, those questions where you're not judging, where you're not analyzing, where you're not saying yes or no, good or bad, you are actually activating your frontal lobe. And that's what you got to do. And that is a very clear intention. Intention in Dr. Joe's work is like the fuel, is like the energy that you put on those goals. And if you don't have clarity, that is okay. Because you are at the beginning of that river of change. So what I would say is you're doing exactly what you need to do. Just showing up with an open-ended question and putting all of your effort on getting your heart and your brain into coherence, and the rest is gonna start unfolding because that is the never-ending process of discovering ourselves and our subconscious mind, which is pretty big.
Thank you for that, Maria. And Lorelai, it's absolutely something I've experienced myself. So thank you so much for sharing. Up next, Anissa, would you like to come off of mute to have your question answered? Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yes, thank you so much for saying it right. Thank you.
Good.
Hello, and first of all, thank you so much for doing this. It's been so amazing so far. And I haven't even seen the Zoom of the first day because I was flying on an airplane. So my question is more of an admin question because I've already gotten all the benefits from doing the work that's on the website, following the journal prompts, the videos you've uploaded, but I can't seem to locate the recording of the Zoom link of the first day. So if there's any chance I could rewatch it, I'd be really grateful because just tonight was extremely powerful and I'm all in. You have clarified so much of setting intentions. Like I had set them and then I watched the videos. I was like, I'm doing this all wrong still. I need to redo it. So thank you so much, Maria and Sophia. It was, your videos are amazing. Very informative. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. And so grateful and excited to hear that you are getting a lot of value out of this. I'll pop the first Zoom link in the chat right now so you can watch it. They're going to be all up on YouTube. We're just uploading them as they come so you can watch as your own time if you're not able to make one live.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How do I hear?
Carolyn, would you like to come off of mute?
Yes, thank you. My oops, I can't find the lower hand. Oh, you did it. Good. My comment is this morning when I woke up, I have a friend, she's coming over this afternoon, and this morning there are no morning meditations on Coheal. So I did the regular morning meditation, and I'm working on, I have been depressed a lot over my lifetime. I have bipolar, and I have had bipolar. I'm working on releasing that as an old habit or an old belief system that I have that I can change it. And so this morning I woke up and I was down, feeling down. But then I said, I don't want to feel down. I want to choose to be happy. And when I was going through the morning meditation, I just started focusing on changing to being happy and being positive rather than being down. And I've been working on self-love and uh, feeling worthy rather than feeling unworthy because I was taught that way when I was very young. So I really felt a change this morning, um, that I was started feeling a lot better about myself because I have been on several different antidepressants and anti anxiety meds, and I'm down to one now, and I would really love to get rid of that one also. So and so oh, Bev, I got to look at that yeah, afterwards. But uh, I really am feeling the changes. I'm really feeling differently than
Mm.
I have in the past. So I am so, so thankful for this work. I guess I don't really have, if I had a question, it would be what would I have for an intention? But my intention is to become more positive and to choose. I have in the past overcome so many things physically and other things mentally. I just choose to overcome this as well. So thank you. And it's really, this is the first one I've been on for these, but really appreciate the work. Thank you.
Oh, Caroline, thank you. Thank you so much for what you have shared. Thank you for being vulnerable, and for being real. One thing that I want to highlight, many things I would love to highlight from your experience, but what I would really like to highlight today is something that actually Dr. Joe teaches very, very intentional. And he says, the hardest thing about change is not making the same choice that we did the day before. And this morning, when you woke up, Caroline, you made a different choice. You said, I choose to be happy. And that different choice activated this whole different experience that you are sharing with us. So great job. And thank you for inspiring us all. I believe we are all being inspired by you and by your different, by you making a different choice.
One other thing that I remember from the work, and we talked about this in one of the other meetings. I can't remember which one, but it's like going up a set of stairs, or it's like stepping one step up and then you plateau, one step up and then you plateau, rather than up and down. So it's like I plateau and then I go up another step and plateau and go up another step. So it is progress. It's not up and down, which is the way I was seeing it, but now I see it differently. So thank you.
Absolutely. There's no such thing as a bad meditation. And in this challenge that we are all part of, there's no such thing as a bad breath. We are all doing it. We are all showing up, and that's what matters.
Thank you.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing, Carolyn.
Sophia, I see.
Yes, were you going to invite Kelly up?
Kelly?
Yes.
Yes.
Hello, I'm sorry, I'm not going to change video because my if I do, my bandwidth won't be enough to hold the conversation. My journey to my higher self began in Denver this past year, and I was lucky enough to win the silent auction with the big string art, and it sits in my room, and I meditate under it 2 or 3 times a day, every day, because that energy is still there. And so much has happened in the past, however many months it's been since then. I'm finishing up a divorce that came as a result of me going. My life, my career, my health. I had a huge biological upgrade in Denver. That was very interesting. Not all biological upgrades are pleasant. I ended up getting sick as a result, but I came out much cleaner, and it was very much metaphorically like standing in the rain and feeling all of this caked mud come off of my body. And I feel like I've been in that rain for 7 months now, just having the opportunity to find that higher self, clean her off, and really commune with source. And it is very much about opening yourself up in this paradigm and allowing that higher self to come through. And one thing about these meditations, volume 1 and volume 2 with the breath, is that's like a way to turbo clean. That's where you're getting the scrubber out and really doing it very well. And if you just, for me, when I just choose to relinquish all of those scared thoughts that come to my head and just fall into the love of source and fall into our communal love that we have when we come together as a group, and we amplify these frequencies in the quantum field. I'm just so thankful. I mean, you live in a constant state of appreciation because you remember what it was like to have all that mud on you, and you're just so thankful you're clean and that it's all real, right? This isn't woo woo. This isn't a lie. This isn't a religious delusion. This is science that's been proven. And to be able to have the holistic experience of communing with each other in the quantum, and then feeling your higher self just come into frequency. Like, I can't say enough. I mean, everybody around me is like, how can she be going through all this and being happy? And it's like, because I recognize that even though I feel like a frog in a blender, right? And I'm on puree, like, it's beautiful. I'm weaving a beautiful tapestry here. And I'm just so thankful for Maria and Terry and all the people I met at the Denver conference, and on the other side, inner science with Dr. Hillary, and just working in coherence healing. That's huge. I would encourage everybody, if they have an opportunity, to become and join in coherence healing. It helps you grow so much too, but you're touching other people. And wow, like, I can't imagine life before, right? Like, life
Hmm.
here is really chaotic right now, but that's just because the ripples are going through, the cleaning is being done, and that higher self is growing. And I'm embracing all of that chaos because it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's the tapestry coming together. So thank you for the opportunity to speak here. Thank everybody for their just communal love and just commitment to their own growth, because we're coming together in a beautiful way, and we amplify each other's intentions and the beauty of the tapestries that we're weaving. So thank you for this opportunity. Tomorrow is my birthday. I'll be on the Zoom call. I'm just rejoicing that today is me wrapping up my year, right? Because my new year starts on my birthday, because that's when I was brought into this paradigm. And I'm just so thankful that I have the opportunity to be here today and close it up with this. And thank you for your wisdom and just everything you guys do. Blessings to you. Blessings.
Oh, that is beautiful, Kelly. So tomorrow we have a birthday party along with the challenge. Your words for your reflections. Another way to say it is we are not our thoughts. Thoughts are just thoughts. And you are expressing that in a very beautiful, beautiful way. Thank you for that, Kelly.
Thank you so much. That it's truly beautiful to hear from everybody and hear your hearts and your reflections and get to be together in community and learn. And I'm so grateful for this experience. And we're going to be live again tomorrow morning for Kelly's birthday. That's going to be so much fun. We're going to be on the Zoom, the same link that we are on today at 10 a.m. Eastern, doing track number 4 of the breath. And I hope that you are all able to join. I went ahead and I sent the challenge email in the chat. If you have a question we weren't able to get to today, you can send anything there and it comes to me and Maria, so we'll get back to it. And yeah, I think that's all we have for you this morning. Thank you all so much for joining. From my heart to yours, it's so wonderful to be here with all of you, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Brenda, send us your question. I saw another brain coach. Send us your question. We'll be happy to respond. I have my coffee here and we are ready. So have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day and see you guys tomorrow, because remember, we are creating a new mind.